Hello and welcome to beautiful Newmarket, Virginia. Tonight, the Newmarket Rebels are taking on the visiting Purcellville Cannons. Newmarket comes into tonight's game with a record of 5 wins, 13 losses. It's good for last place in the North Division. Purcellville comes into tonight's game with a record of 8 wins, 9 losses. They are occupying the 5th spot, just ahead of Newmarket. Quickly give you the starting lineup for the visiting Cannons. Leading off the left fielder, Ethan Acevedo. Batting second, playing shortstop, Carlos Sanchez. Batting third, playing right field, Anthony Fernandez. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Manny Ramirez Jr. Batting fifth, playing center field, Gerardo Prado. Batting sixth, playing first base, Quinn Maher. Batting seventh, third baseman, Rex Smith. Batting eighth and doing the catching tonight, Mark Hirsch. Batting ninth, playing second base, Are Valentine. On the mound for the Rebels tonight, we have Jake Ogun Pacheco. He is a left-handed starting pitcher. Just finished up his warm-up pitchers to catcher tonight, Noah Avey. Give you some stats on Pacheco as we get started here.
Off the camp, fielder number 8, Ethan Acevedo.
Pacheco comes into tonight's game, have 5 appearances, 19 and a third innings pitched. First pitch, called strike.
Acevedo, leadoff hitter for Percival, Andrew. Their most productive hitter, 433 batting average so far.
That is very productive. Second pitch misses for a ball.
That's not a small sample size either. Some guys played 15 games. He's played a decent 11.
That one misses for ball 2. Nice breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 2. Purcellville wearing their traditional away uniforms. Kind of a maroon color with white pinstripes. Misses for a ball. Rebels wearing their regular home uniform. Dark blue tops, white pants, dark blue stirrups. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Pacheco fans Acevedo to get tonight's game started off well for Newmarket.
Starting out shortstop number 9, Carlos Sanchez.
Really good execution, using the lefty-lefty matchup to his advantage, living on the outside corner.
Brings up Carlos Sanchez, the shortstop. First pitch in for a called strike. Like to see first pitch strikes to the first 2 batters. Foul tip into the catcher's mitt. Sun shouldn't be an issue here today. Cloudy skies.
Luckily not as hot as the past few days.
No, that rain that came through this afternoon really cooled it off. At lunchtime today, I got in my car, it was 97. So, it feels pretty good out right now, though.
Very nice. Nice little breeze as well.
Storms blew through the area this afternoon. Thankfully, swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in a row for Pacheco. Thankfully, it cooled it down and didn't just make it humid. Sometimes I feel like those storms come through and it just gets sticky.
Right fielder number 24, Anthony Fernandez.
Anthony Fernandez steps in. Lefty on lefty. First pitch is outside for ball 1.
Fernandez, 2 home runs this year. Decent batting average as well, 17.
Ground ball over to first base. It's going to stay foul. Murphy was up with it, but about a step into foul territory behind first base.
Fernandez got lucky there. Got a second chance now, but Pacheco's definitely doing a good job of initiating swing and miss as well as soft contact.
Looking sharp so far. Home plate umpire rung him up and then realized that it was only strike 2. That was actually kind of funny.
Got a little too excited.
That was definitely a strike 3 call, but he was a 1 pitch too soon. It's fouled back over our heads. As always, feel free to let us know where you're watching from in the live chat on YouTube. Love to hear where people are tuning in from, who you're cheering for, and who knows, we might have some interactive bits for you throughout the night.
Definitely.
That one's fouled off. 2-2 on Fernandez. Very small crowd tonight. You could literally count the fans. That one's grounded up the middle. Newcomer's got it. Throw over is not going to be in time. Nothing he could do on that one. It'll be a single for Fernandez.
Really impressive speed there.
Around the designated hitter number 88, Manny Ramirez.
Yeah, I think Caleb Newcomer at second did everything he could do and just wasn't in the right spot to make a play.
I was just about to say that he charged it well. It was a good throw.
Here's Manny Ramirez Jr. stepping in, right-handed batter. Just misses inside. Looked like the home plate umpire flinched a little bit, but didn't trigger.
That one was close. Did look inside, though. Pacheco really attacking that side of the zone.
Other ground ball to Newcomer. This one takes a nice big hop right to him, and he pitches it over to short for the 4-6 putout to end the top half of the
Coming
first.
on the first inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Runner left on base.
Newcomer leading us off here in the bottom of the first, and now bring us our lineup real quickly. Or should I do it after this at bat? Oh,
Go
wait
ahead
for
and do it, and I'll cut in if we have any action.
Gotcha. Newcomer here leading us off.
Flared into shallow center field. Might be trouble. Nice sliding catch out there. Prado. A little bit of a web gem to start it off for the Cannons.
Yeah. Good speed to get there. I think the slide was more of just a comfortable thing to go down.
Yeah.
But really nice job of tracking there, nonetheless.
Around the center fielder from Colorado State University.
Well, that was Caleb Newcomer, our leadoff batter at second base. Here's Logan Kelly, center fielder. Mike Dubkowski in the 3-hole at right field. Matt Murphy batting cleanup at first base tonight. Blaine Waltzmeyer.
Grounded out to second base. 4-3 put out. 2 pitches, 2 outs. They don't want you to get it in, Mikey.
Let's see, where was I? Waltzmeyer playing in left field. Brennan Peterson at third base. Jack Johnson batting seventh in the DH. Noah Avey is the catcher tonight. And Cody Cooper batting ninth and starting at shortstop tonight. Angel Cruz on the mound for Purcellville.
And here is Mike Dobkowski, one of the 2 Dobkowski brothers that appear for Newmarket this summer. That one is hit high into center field. Hit it hard, but the launch angle was a little bit too vertical. I believe that is a 4-pitch, 1-2-3 inning for Angel Cruz.
Started about the first inning, no runs.
After 1,
No runners on
we remain scoreless. Gerardo Prado going to lead off for the Cannons in the top of the second. First pitch is a called strike.
Look to see good at bats from Purcellville up and down the lineup. Not a ton of strikeouts.
That one's fouled off 0-2. They had a little bit of a slow start as well, but have turned it on a bit lately. You look at the transaction wire, they're one of the teams that has made quite a few moves, so may have had some like temporary players at the beginning of the season as they were waiting for some players to finish postseason play. One-two pitch lined out to Newcomer at second. Catches it moving to his left for the first out of the inning.
Newcomer showing off that shortstop level athleticism.
First baseman, number 7, Quinn Mayer.
One thing's for sure, he is quick.
Oh, yeah.
Quinn Maher steps in and takes a called strike, quickly behind 0-1. Checo continuing to pound the zone early. Off-speed pitch swung on and missed. Strike 2. He's at 4 out of 6 first pitch called strikes.
Living on that outside corner. Just missed the call there, however.
Like a few more fans have continued to file in. Still a sparse crowd, though. That one misses, bringing the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Say the home stands is about 15 to 20% full. Small crowd out in the left field tailgate area, and 5 people on the Purcellville side.
You wouldn't be able to tell by the field, but Newmarket did get poured down on, so maybe that discouraged some fans.
I wasn't in Newmarket this afternoon, but it definitely poured 20 minutes south of here, so. Didn't seem to last super long, but it was a downpour when it was here. Another one fouled off.
Kind of been how all these Virginia rainstorms have been the past few weeks. It was in Harrisonburg. Harrisonburg really got roughed up. But these storms past few weeks, they'll hit you, but they don't last long.
That 2-2 pitch is in the dirt, bringing us to a full count on Maher. That one's hit hard, just foul down the first base line.
Good example of one of those professional grinder at-bats we've seen from Percival. Are doing a really good job of that.
Got another foul ball. Quite the long at-bat here. I think by my count, we're at 10 pitches already. I'm running out of room to count them on my score sheet, so.
Like you said, Pacheco has been throwing a lot of strikes. He is not going to give in easy.
That's kind of the. That one has popped up on the infield. Peterson, the third baseman, is in and secures it. He might have been just into foul territory between first and third there. The second out of the inning, and brings up Rex Smith, the Purcellville third baseman.
Third baseman number 1, Rex Smith.
Lefty on lefty here. Shows bunt. Pulls back and takes low for ball 1.
Despite that rare first ball from Pacheco, it's been the key to success for the Rebels starters. A lot of strikes, attacking the hitters, limit the walks.
1-0 is tapped softly towards first. Pacheco, nice play to field it. Flip it over to first for the out. 1-3. Cannons go down 1-2-3 after 1.5. We remain scoreless.
Rebel from Salem Community College. First baseman number 6, Matt Murphy.
Murphy leading off for the Rebels in the bottom of the second. First pitch is a ball from Angel Cruz.
It was such a quick inning in the first inning. Didn't really get to go over Cruz's stats.
Called strike. 1-1 is fouled back out of play.
Only got 2 appearances, 2 innings so far this summer. No runs given up in those 2 innings.
That one's lined into right field. First hit of the night for the Rebels comes from Matt Murphy. Hard hit ball between first and second. And that'll bring up Blaine Waltemeyer.
From Penn State, Harrisburg. 25, Blaine Waltemeyer.
Waltemeyer had both of the Rebels' hits last night. Yep, you heard me right. Only 2 hits. They're both Blaine.
Second hit was a line drive double, going the opposite way.
That one is down and away. Been in a little bit of a funk here compared to maybe expectations, but that could be a good sign of coming out of it. Swinging a miss at a high fastball. Really, you could argue that quite a few Rebel hitters have been in a funk, but you don't want to peak at this time of year anyway. You want to peak in the playoffs. Another swing and a miss. This year, the Valley League playoff format, all 12 teams will make the playoffs. 3 through 6 rather, in each division will play single elimination with 1 and 2 seeds getting a bye. That one is ripped into deep right field, chasing them back. One hops the wall. Waltemeyer is going to try to turn it into a double. Close play at second. He is safe. Second baseman doesn't like it. Waltemeyer did not slide, instead trying to kind of hop around on the inside part of second base. Worked out for him, even though he kind of went past the base and had to come back to it. So the Rebels are cooking here in the bottom of the second. Leadoff single from Murphy, followed by a double from Waltemeyer.
Like you said, Waltemeyer crossed the bag and had to come back, but Sanchez, the shortstop for Percival, was so confident in his tag on Waltemeyer that he didn't even attempt to re-tag him.
Purcellville coach Brett Fuller out to the line for a quick discussion with the field umpire. Looked like it lasted about 4 words.
Yeah, hard to see how that conversation would continue long. No one else had a better view.
Third baseman from Abilene Christian University. Number 7, Brennan Peterson.
Brennan Peterson, third baseman, steps in. I'm guessing it was he out of the baseline? And the umpire replied no, and then headed back to his position. First pitch is popped up in foul territory, but should be playable for the first baseman. He's got it. And Peterson goes down with the P3 for the first out of the inning. And that'll give Jack Johnson, the designated hitter, a chance to drive in some runs.
Jack Johnson.
A lot of pressure on Jack Johnson here to be a productive hitter, given the situation. Second and third, less than 2 outs.
Like a breaking ball is in for called strike 1. Got our first comment in the live chat. A woot woot. I think David's with us quite often. That one is fouled back. Johnson behind 0-2. Noah Avey, the catcher, waiting on deck. Like Noah might have a brace on his right shoulder.
Yeah, AB was wearing that last night, catching and batting, and on the bases as well.
0-2 was upstairs. 1-2 now on Johnson. That one's fouled off of himself.
Johnson, one of those rebel hitters you mentioned, not off to the greatest start. He's got 9 RBIs in not too many games, so he'll come up clutch every now and then for this lineup.
Definitely a situation where you got to find a way to get that run in from third, even if it's an out. 1-2 is outside. 2-2. Waltemeyer on second. Murphy on third. 2-2 gets some chirps from the Purcellville dugout, but called ball 3.
It looked outside, but it looked a lot similar to, I think, the first strike called in this at-bat.
Kind of sweeping away. That one, it could come down to the framing even. Full count pitch. In the dirt, swung on and missed. Going to force the throw. They're going to try to score on the throw. Play at the plate. That is going to be an unconventional double play. It'll go 2-3-2 for the double play. As Johnson strikes out swinging, and Murphy is out 3-2 at the plate. Rebels fail to score after 2. We remain knotted at nothing.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
We're back for the top of the third, and the first pitch is grounded to third. Throw across is in time, and Hirsch goes down 5-3. That'll bring up Kare Valentine, the second best baseman, who is batting ninth tonight. Might have been saying his name wrong. It's Valentine, not Valentine. That was my bad. First pitch called strike.
I've got him inside. That's my wife made.
1-1 now. That one's lifted into left field. Shouldn't be any trouble. And it is hauled in by Kelly. Wasn't sure if that was going to be Waltemeyer or Kelly. They were both there, but it'll be an F8. Second out of the inning. And that'll flip the order over. And Ethan Acevedo will get his second crack at Jake Pacheco. one's grounded foul. Acevedo rocking the pink bat. Got the hot pink barrel.
Pink bat, pink wrist sleeve, or a bit of a accessory on the pink side.
Makes me feel like I'm watching an MLB game on Mother's Day. Fouls off the 0-1 and makes it 0-2.
I like it. It goes well with the pinstripes.
He's rocking it. I feel like there could be a story behind that, but we didn't. Unfortunately, do not have a sideline reporter to get it for you.
Ethan's batting .433. I think you can wear cowboy boots and a cowboy hat up there if you're batting over 400.
That is true. Get away with a lot. That one's grounded up the middle, and that batting average is going to go up as it's not an infield single, but it is a single through the infield. So Purcellville gets a runner on with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Carlos Sanchez, the shortstop, who struck out back in the first inning.
Carlos Sanchez.
That's a base hit if you're Pacheco. You're fine giving up 2-out single as long as you get this 3rd out here.
That one's lined. Nice leaping catch by Newcomer out at second base. Looks like he kind of hung up in the air on that one. Reels it in. It'll go down as an L4 for the 3rd out of the inning. 2.5. Scoreless here in Newmarket. Noah Avey out of Pitt Bradford going to lead off for the Rebels. Left-handed hitting catcher. First pitch is a breaking ball. Back door for strike 1. Fastball misses up and away.
He's working really fast. First time of the summer going more than 1 inning.
Called strike. Yeah, you do have to wonder how stretched out he is, how many pitches he has in the tank. You see some players walking down to the Purcellville bullpen. Strike 3 swinging. Avey is the first out of the inning.
Well, Cruz ran into a little traffic last inning. Maybe you think, oh, might be tiring out. 2nd inning of work. Maybe he's just a 1-inning guy so far this summer. Not the case this inning. Great bounce back strikeout.
Brings up Cody Cooper, the shortstop. Called strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
I think if Kelly, you might have to take a batter timeout here. 0-2 count this quick.
Cooper only has 3 at-bats, no batting average. One's grounded out to second base. Fielded and thrown across for the 2nd out of the inning, 4-3. And the Rebels are going to flip over to the top of the lineup with Caleb Newcomer. feel like he's going to get a hit here. It's based off the fact that he ended the inning with a nice defensive play.
Taylor, newcomer.
I feel like that's kind of just a thing in baseball. You make a nice defensive play, then you get to bat right after.
I've seen it before.
Kind of ducks under a breaking ball there for ball one.
Newcomer also had a good swing his first plate appearance. Fly out to center field.
That breaking ball finds the zone for called strike one. Swing and a miss, strike two. A newcomer behind 1-2 and goes fishing at one in the dirt. Catcher throws down to first. That'll go as a strikeout with a 2-3 for the third out of the inning. 3-3. We remain scoreless.
No errors. No runners.
Anthony Fernandez leads off for the Cannons against Pacheco. Fouls the first one back off of Avi's mask.
Fernandez last time beat out that infield single.
Yep, hit up the middle. Newcomer fielded it through to first, but wasn't in time. That one misses outside. You know Fernandez has good speed. And left-handed hitter has an extra step towards first base. Nice off-speed pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike two. That one's hit hard into right. Chasing Dobkowski back. He should have a play, and he reels it in on the warning track. That one carried pretty far out there.
Just about to say, Fernandez lifted that ball out. I didn't think Dobkowski was going to have to move much.
Now, number 88.
And with the route he took in the outfield, I don't think he thought he was going to have to move that much either.
No, that one carried, I think, could be a sign that the ball's carrying to right field tonight. That one didn't look like it was going to be nearly as deep as it was. From a Rebels perspective, lucky that one wasn't hit slightly on a lower angle. Probably would have carried out into the fields beyond right field fence. That swing and a miss by Ramirez has us at a 1-1 count.
Another great breaking ball from Pacheco. Not afraid to go down and in. Righty hitters.
Nice looking pitch there. But not called a strike, so we're at 2-1. fouled back into the screen. Got intern Brett on the scoreboard for you tonight, fresh off a stint with the Savannah Bananas. Who knows, depending on how this one goes, we might get a special interview with Brett to hear about his experience with the Bananas over the weekend. That pitch misses up and away. Full count on Ramirez Jr. And he's going to head on down to first base with a walk. Cannons have a man on with one out. Got quite the production going up in the press box. We've got Brett.
Number 13, Verado.
Brett on the stadium scoreboard as well as your digital scoreboard. Got myself, Mikey Ragone hanging out beside me, kind of producing the show tonight.
So
Called strike to Prado.
if anything goes wrong with the cameras, it's probably my doing.
About to go on vacation. I've been playing producer for most of the summer, so making Mikey go through some trial by fire maybe tonight.
That's
But
way to
he's
learn.
on his own Friday through next week, so. Runners off. Throw down by AV. Pulls newcomer off to the shortstop side. It'll be a stolen base for Ramirez.
AB looking at his hand after that throw. Probably didn't have the grip he wanted, but he got up fast. Good read by AB. Checo
Pitch.
having to lock down nevertheless, though.
Pitch was a ball, so it's 2-1. We also got Greg Howard on the live scoring. So if you want to follow along that way, that is available on the Valley League website. Can be a little tricky to find, but it's there, I promise. That'll give you a pitch-by-pitch feed that you can follow. Prado fouls off the 2-2 pitch. Helpful if you're trying to track pitch counts or anything like that, because they'll give you all of that information.
It's where we'll also see our debate here in the booth of scoring, whether a play is an air or a hit.
That one's popped up into shallow right field. Might be trouble. Dobkowski slides. Can't come up with it. It'll be a single for Prado. That would be in the category of a Texas leaguer. Or a Texas bloop. That'll bring up Quinn Mayer for his second at-bat.
Would have liked to come away with an out there, but not the worst thing in the world. One out, runners on the corners. Pacheco has a chance for a double play here.
Ramirez had to kind of wait and see on that one. Both Newcomer and Dobkowski could have had a chance. Grounded to second. Runner was in motion. Newcomer's going to go to first. Get the out, but it'll be an RBI ground out as Ramirez is able to score.
That is a textbook hit and run. Takes away the double play for Newcomer and can only go to first base.
Yep, having the runner in motion
Third baseman, number 1.
took away any possibility of a double play. I'm not sure they would have been able to turn two on that. It was a little bit softly hit. But. So runner on second for Rex Smith, the third baseman, who takes the first pitch for a ball. Echo keeping a close eye on the runner at second. Fires inside for ball 2.
Maher at second base. He's doing a really good job of getting a big secondary lead, trying to score on a base hit.
Check swing, called strike 1. Line to shortstop. Cooper has it for the third out of the inning. Cannons do push across the first run of the game and take a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the fourth. Logan Kelly going to lead off for the Rebels. Maybe he can put a charge into one and tie this thing up. Nope, shows bunt. Attempts to bunt and fouls it off.
Not quite the strategy we were looking for. The Rebels had been successful laying down bunts at home for base hits.
I would say on that one, we were on opposite ends of the spectrum. And Logan were not synced up. Got some comments from David. Thank you for noticing. We've been trying to improve a little bit as the season goes on. Switched out one of our cameras to get a little better view. We've added some different we'll be back screens, and we have mixed in a couple of replays here or there when we can get them. Had the replay of Logan's home run at Front Royal queued up. Meanwhile, it's 2-2 on Kelly. Ground ball softly hit to third. Could be a tough play. Third baseman can't come up with it. Kelly is going to reach.
Right fielder for Enterprise State Junior College, number 18, Mike Kowski.
Hit. We're giving him a hit. Scorekeeper was having a hard time making up his mind. I'm his boss, so I'm going to make the call for it. And we're giving him a hit. The leadoff man on for the Rebels. It was a tough play for the third baseman. Charging on a softly hit ground ball. Kind of a do or die pick. And Kelly might have had it beaten out anyway. It was going to be close. At best at first base.
That's Rex Smith for Percival at third base.
Mike Dobkowski batting now for Newmarket. I would say Mike is probably due for a home run.
I would say that too. He hasn't been shy about ripping doubles.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. He hasn't maybe been lifting the ball enough to generate home runs. He's hit the ball hard quite a bit this summer.
Especially on the left side. When he's batting lefty, that's where you see the power come through.
Fastball upstairs for ball 2. Kelly not looking too adventurous out at first base. Oh, there he goes. Me and Logan are on opposite ends of the spectrum tonight. He steals second base with no throw right after I say he wasn't looking very adventurous.
He caught the defense sleeping a little bit as well.
Full count on Dabkowski now with a runner in scoring position. Fouls it off. Feels like in baseball, you always got to foul that full count pitch off, especially if there's runners in motion.
Got to make your runners do some extra cardio. It will only benefit them in the future.
Another full count pitch. This one swung on and missed. Strike 3. Dabkowski goes down swinging for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Matt Murphy. He singled in his first at bat back in the second inning.
Murphy.
It's tough to see Dabkowski go down there swinging with nobody out and a runner in scoring position. Cruz has really been in control of this game on the mound.
Big swing and a miss. Not a lot of energy in the ballpark at the moment. Certainly use a big hit here to get the crowd into it. Sure, the Rebels being on a bit of a skid hasn't helped the energy in the ballpark. Mikey hasn't got to experience it, but this place can be pretty electric for a small little ballpark if you get a competitive team and some big moments down the stretch. Murphy goes down looking. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. Second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Blaine Waltemeyer with a chance to drive in the first Rebel run of the evening.
Fielder number 25, Blaine Waltemeyer.
Murphy did not like that call. Low and outside slider. Hopefully Waltemeyer can pick him up though. Maybe starting to get it going for the Rebels.
First pitch to Blaine misses outside. I like to say that was a breaking ball that didn't quite break. Usually sign the pitcher didn't quite get on top of it or on the outside of the ball and it kind of just floats up or away. That one's fouled back out of play.
Seen a few of those from Cruz, where he just loses a little bit of control on that breaking ball. But other than a few instances, his control and execution has been on point tonight.
Back in the second, Waltemeyer doubled on a short hop of the wall in right field. That one's hit hard into left field. Gonna hang up, though, for Acevedo. He's got it for the third out of the inning. Rebels fail to score once again after 4 completes. Purcellville 1, Newmarket nothing. Mark Hirsch going to lead off for the Cannons in the top of the 5th. First pitch is a called strike. Between innings, we were talking about some past traditions here at Rebel Park. This is for ball. I think, now that I think about it, the song was Now That the Love Is Gone. Love is Gone? Yeah, we used to play that in the middle of the 6th inning at Rebel Park. And for several years in a row, there was kind of a little performance that the players would put on, kind of interacting with the fans. Everybody would kind of get excited, get into it, pump their fists. Always played in the middle of the 6th. Yep.
Yeah, we could use that here. Use it tonight.
That one's popped up down the first baseline. Might be trouble. Nope. Dobkowski's going to come in and make a nice running catch to retire Hirsch for the first out of the inning. Thought that one might be kind of in the Bermuda Triangle out there behind first base, where the second baseman couldn't quite get to it either.
I think Dobkowski caught that one right in front of Murphy's face. Like the Bill Murphy's cap was inches away from Dobkowski's glove.
R.A. Valentin stepping in. Flew out to center. Last at bat. Hits this one to center. Hit it hard, but right at Kelly, and quickly 2 down for the Cannons. There was another year going way back. It was one of the best teams we ever had in Newmarket. 2006 Rebels. The bullpen had a whole routine of things they would do. My personal favorite, we had a power-hitting catcher from New Jersey. He was the D3 Player of the Year. I think he hit like 12 or 14 home runs for the Rebels that summer. But every time he came up to bat, the bullpen, that one's fouled off by Acevedo, would fan out across the entire field and left field behind the left field fence like they were fanning out to catch his home run ball. I don't think they ever actually did catch a home run ball, but they tried. And like for every different batter, they had a different routine they would do. And the crowd always got excited to watch them. You never quite knew what you were going to get out there. You'd see whack-a-mole going on, like were they popping up behind the fence, or rowing the boat down the fence line.
Bullpen antics are the best.
If you really dig deep on YouTube, the videos exist. I don't know exactly where they are, but they're out there somewhere. That one's chopped off the plate. Going to be a tough play. Cooper at shortstop got it, threw it across. Not going to be in time. The throw actually gets past first base, but no advancement, so it'll just be a single for Acevedo. Continuing to bump up that already high batting average.
Shortstop, number 9, Carlos.
The catcher's name was Gerard Heron, if anybody was curious about the power hitting catcher.
Was it your Cubs that had that fun bullpen routine and dances after home runs?
I believe they did at one point. Wrigley Field a little bit unique these days with the bullpen that's entirely enclosed under the outfield bleachers. And they have cameras in there, so you get to kind of see what's going on. They've definitely had some weird dances and stuff going on.
I remember the Cubs bullpen dancing after home runs. It was the Rangers bullpen or somebody going viral for not moving when a foul ball was lined right at them.
That one's lined into right field. Back-to-back 2-out hits for the Cannons. We'll bring up Anthony Fernandez. Singled back in the first, flew out to right in the 4th inning. And that's going to prompt a visit from pitching coach Morgan Saylor.
This makes a lot of sense. Just trying to really put a stop to things this inning. Percival looking like they're building a 2-out rally.
is some action in the Rebel bullpen. Like a right-handed pitcher. His number is right behind the peak of the dugout for me. I can't quite make out who it is. In the teens, it might be Colin Porter. Not 100% sure on that, but
Porter is fresh. He didn't pitch last night. Pacheco has been putting in a great start. Despite the one-run last inning that came off of only one hit Pacheco gave up, he's been dynamite.
first pitch to Anthony Fernandez, a called strike. Gotta think Coach Shepard would be happy just to get Pacheco through 5 innings with only 1 run allowed. That's a very solid start.
Absolutely.
That one's lifted into left field. Waltemeyer on the run. It's gonna fall just foul. Went from thinking that was going to be an out to thinking that was trouble to then ultimately realizing it was a foul ball. Left field, bit of a blind spot from where we're sitting in the press box. We call it the press box more as a tradition than a fact. Hasn't been a member of the press in the press box in many years. That one, another one lined into left field. Waltemeyer lays out. What a catch. Waltemeyer lays out head first towards the foul line and reels it in on the backhand, saving 1, if not 2 runs from crossing the plate. Purcellville does not score in the top of the 5th inning. After 4 1/2, it's Purcellville 1, Newmarket nothing. We're back with Brennan Peterson leading off for the Rebels in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch is a ball. Check swing, called strike. Peterson now even at 1-1. Got Jack Johnson in the on-deck circle. Ground ball chopped over to third, picked cleanly, throw across. Is in time to retire Peterson for the first out of the inning. And here is the before-mentioned Jack Johnson.
Oklahoma City University, number 8, Jack Johnson.
Jack's 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the 2nd.
Cruz once again working very fast and efficient.
And Cruz had to work out of trouble back in the second, but otherwise has been very solid.
Hard to believe this is his first start of the summer.
It is impressive to pitch into the fifth inning when you've only had one inning appearances up until this point. You're the Rebels. You're hoping that at some point he's going to run out of gas while he's still on the mound. And quickly, 3 strikes to Johnson. He goes down looking for the second out of the inning. I'll bring up
From the University
Noah Avey.
catcher number 17, Noah Avey.
He also went down looking back in the third inning. That breaking ball stays just up for ball 1.
Yeah, that slider from Cruz is really working. So righty hitters, he'll use it low and outside for strikeouts.
One's poked down the third base line. Looks like it might be in foul territory. Foul ball, no catch is what I'm seeing from the umpire.
All we saw was the umpire no catch signal.
I just mentioned last inning, that is a bit of a blind spot.
Saw Acevedo make the slide, but then he slid right into our blind spot.
Kind of the peak of the home dugout obscures pretty much the foul line and maybe 5 feet into fair territory. And then all of foul territory once you get past the dirt down the left field. Can't fill you in exactly what happened, but Avey's still batting and he takes ball 2. That one is popped up on the infield. The shortstop Sanchez has it. Rebels go down 1, 2, 3. After 5 complete, it remains Purcellville 1, Newmarket nothing.
Nobody left on base.
Number 14, Trey Gouch taking over on the mound for the Rebels. Pacheco goes 5 innings, allows 1 run on 5 hits. Couch will face off with Manny Ramirez Jr. to start his night here in the top of the sixth. Trey's pitched 10 and a third innings. Has a 6.09 ERA. Doesn't give up a lot of hits, but has struggled a little bit with his control.
Exactly. When he's struggling and having bad innings, usually due to those free passes, those walks. In terms of giving up hits, pretty efficient.
That one is hit up the middle. That's going to be a single for Ramirez. Been having a bit of a debate going on in the booth whether Manny Ramirez Jr. is the junior to that Manny Ramirez. They're telling us it is. So if Google is to be believed, it is. That one's lined into left center field. Kelly's got it, and they're going to hold the runner at second base. Nice play by the center fielder to keep the runners at first and second.
Unfortunate that we identified Trey's ability to limit hits. Unfortunate way to start the inning with back-to-back singles.
Brings up Quinn Mayer. Yeah, I think I might have broadcast or jinxed him there. First pitch to Mayer is a ball.
I think we both did. But he's on his second day of work, 2 days. Trey pitched last night against the River Bandits, sorry.
Anybody can work out of a jam. He does also strike out a lot of batters, so that will play in his favor here as he is working with some traffic on the bases at the top of the sixth.
Had a relatively clean inning last night. 1 inning, no runs allowed.
Maher shows bunt again, takes a called strike, and he is behind 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one misses down and away, 2-2. Starting to get to the point of the evening where the lights are really starting to take effect. Sun is setting behind the press box, even though it's mostly obscured by clouds today. Big lead over at first base, as the Rebels are not holding Prado on the base. Murphy playing back.
Good job by Maher, though, working this good at bat. Drove in the only run of the game with that RBI ground out his last plate appearance.
2-2 misses outside. That'll bring us to a full count.
And this is where the walks can't hurt you for Trey, or can hurt you for Trey, I mean. Really want to go right after him, challenge Maher to beat base hit.
See if the runners are in motion with a full count. Big leads, but no running, and fouled off. What did I say? Full count? Got fouled off.
I believe 3-2 count is also count where hitters chase the most.
I can see that. Another full count pitch. Another foul ball. Maher putting up quite the fight against Trey Gouch here in the top of the sixth.
Nobody out, so worst case scenario for Percival. I think Maher's trying to just put the ball in play, make weak contact, hopefully to the right side to move the runners.
And the third payoff pitch works for Gouch. He strikes out Maher for the first out of the inning. And he is one ground ball away from getting out of trouble.
Third baseman number 1, Rex Smith.
I think that was definitely
Rex Smith.
saying that was definitely best case scenario for Gouch there. Now looking for that double play.
Smith, the third baseman for the Cannons, left-handed batter. Runners dancing around out there. They get Galt to step off. And pitches in for a called strike.
Smith 0 for 2 so far today.
Tell that I am under caffeinated tonight, Mikey. A long day and falling asleep up here. That pitch misses outside, 1-1. Still not holding the runner at first base. He's got a big lead, almost a running lead off of the base. 1-1 is fouled at the plate. 1-2.
Been a swift first half of the game. Tends to come that way when you have a pitcher's duel or low scoring matchup such as this one. Right, trying to keep it that way.
Checking in on the Major League scoreboard. My Cubs are beating up on the Cardinals tonight. Former Newmarket Rebel Brendan Donovan hitting leadoff for the Cardinals. Has a good chance of being their representative in the National League All-Star game. One, two, fastballs up and away, 2-2.
I think a lot of people thought the Cardinals were going to be last in that division. Pirates have a young budding star in Paul Skeens, obviously. Other great young teams in that division, but Brendan Donovan been a huge part of their success.
2-2 stays outside, 3-2. He's put together a pretty solid career thus far. Bit of a utility player. He's played some outfield, played some infield. Seems to have settled in mostly, I think, in left field this year, or maybe second base.
I think
He's
both.
kind of. I was gonna say second base, then I looked down and he's playing left field tonight. Popped up. Cooper, the shortstop, is able to reel it in for the second out.
Not quite a double play, but pop up in the infield does just as well. No infield fly rule on that one.
Catcher number 5.
Mentioning in the booth that if he dropped it, could have been the double play.
Gotta wonder if it was called and we didn't hear it.
Always a possibility.
Should have been an infield fly, whether or not it was called. First pitch to Hirsch is a called strike. Nice fastball from Gouch.
Brendan Donovan reminds me a lot of Ben Zobrist. Second base, corner outfield, coach's dream player.
I could see that comparison. Zobrist, of course, a key contributor on the 2016 World Series team for the Cubs. Hard to believe that's almost 10 years ago now. 0-2 pitch. Just up for ball 1. I think that was a bit of a risky take. Wasn't too up. Couch takes a long look in. Big pitch. Runners are going. No throw. As the pitch misses for a ball, I think there would have been a good chance for a play at third. It almost looked like the runner at second base, Ramirez, may have like missed a sign or something because the runner from first broke first. Usually the trail runner kind of follows there. 2-2 is popped up, should be playable, and it is for newcomer. So Gouch puts the lead off and second batter of the inning on base, but gets out of trouble without allowing any damage. After 5.5, it's Purcellville 1, Newmarket nothing. Cody Cooper leading off for the Rebels. That one's lined down the line. It's fair into the corner. He's going to be looking for extra bases. Nope, he actually holds up at first. So Cooper on with a leadoff single. He was announced as a pinch hitter, but he was not a pinch hitter. He's been playing shortstop all night.
Second baseman number 11, Taylor.
Newcomer now up for the Rebels. See if we play a little small ball here. Swing and a miss.
Little confusion because Cody Cooper is a two-way player listed as a pitcher on the roster. Rival for the Rebels.
There's also a pitching change for the Cannons.
Bryce Turner, Percival, number 47.
Bryce Turner takes over for Cruz. Tall right-handed pitcher with a low arm slot, kind of a herky-jerky delivery, and he strikes out Newcomer on 3 pitches.
Yeah, that low arm slot from his ankle is going to be real trouble for right-handed batters in the Rebels lineup.
I feel like baseball is one of the unique things where you can say they look a little funky or quirky, and it's actually like a good thing because it can be hard to pick up on the ball from an unconventional delivery. Logan Kelly batting now. First pitch is a strike. So 1 is just inside for a ball. Cooper not looking to have too big of a lead over at first base.
You definitely need a funky arm in your and somebody to just change up looks.
Swung on and missed. I feel like there used to be a lot more of that than there is now. Now in the major leagues, it's all about the drive line, the tread athletics, guys throwing 98, 99, 100, pitch tunneling. That one is lined into center field for a hit. Rebels have 2 men on with 1 out.
Pitch tunneling is cool because that gets down to the nitty gritty of changing up looks to hitters. Right nowadays, drive line, all about the detailed metrics on each one of your pitches. How is your fastball spinning? How far is your breaking ball breaking?
Seen a couple debates online recently about whether modern pitching is actually better. That one's lifted into left field. It's going to hang up. Dobkowski flies out on the first pitch. My take is that modern pitching is leaps and bounds harder to hit than older pitching was back in the heyday of the sport.
Around the first baseman from Salem Community College, 6, Matt Murphy.
Certainly as hard as it's been to hit since the mound was lowered.
Absolutely.
Quickly 1-1 on Matt Murphy, the first baseman.
Also makes you think, what was a guy like Nolan Ryan doing pitching in the time he was pitching in? Throwing 100 miles an hour in, I think, the 70s?
It's fouled off, 1-2. You hear stories about old pitchers and how maybe they threw, they say Walter Johnson threw 100 miles an hour. I think modern day thinking is that he was actually more like 90, 91. And Murphy goes down looking, takes a fastball on the outside corner. Promising inning fizzles for the Rebels. After 6 complete. Cannons 1, Rebels nothing. Correa Valentin leads off in the 7th inning for the Cannons. First pitch from Gouch is low for a ball. Trey getting his 2nd inning of work. Pitching's been sharp for both sides tonight. Chopped off the plate. Going to be a tough play for Cooper. He gets there, fires it over to first, gets past the first baseman.
That's going to be another tough ruling. It's going to be a close play. No matter what.
Going to be given a hit on that one. Bang, bang. Hard to say if he would have been safe or out had the play been made, but certainly was not a routine play for Cooper at shortstop. It's going to bring up the leadoff man, Acevedo. He shows bunt and pulls it back. Not every day you see a over 400 hitter looking to put down a sacrifice. Runners are going, had a big jump. Avy's throw is a good one, but still not particularly close at second base. Valentin has the stolen base, and now Acevedo has a 2-0 count and a runner in scoring position.
Really good jump by Valentin. Got to think if Acevedo is still going to put down the bunt, it would still make sense, but like you said, good of a hitter as he is. Oh.
I think in this case, he is showing bunt, but intending to take.
I am surprised Gouch is out there for a 2nd inning of work. Pitched last night and usually only does go 1 inning.
Yo, pitch. Outside, Acevedo is going to head down to first base. You're going to walk somebody, walking an over 400 hitter with first base empty. Not the worst place to do it. There is action in the Rebel bullpen, another right-handed pitcher. See if I can make out a number for you, as we are getting a visit to the mound. Pitching coach Morgan Saylor. Like Luke McGrath warming up in the bullpen. If I'm remembering my numbers correctly.
While we're breaking the action, if you get out your admission tickets, we're giving away a cup of sugar cream ice cream. Your admission ticket number is 0986 688 0986 688. That's your admission ticket number. Bring it to the souvenir stand. You'll want yourself a cup of the fabulous, wonderful sugar cream ice cream. Ice cream. Proud sponsor, New Market Home Baseball.
Got the entire infield in on the visit. This is a situation where you want everybody on the same page. Should Sanchez try to put down a bunt?
Right, 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Wouldn't be surprised to see a bunt or a double steal.
One of those times you got to know who's covering third, or you have the wheel on. Is third base staying home first? And the pitcher has the third base line. Looks like first base is going to be crashing. Should a bunt happen? Swing and a miss. Second baseman, newcomer, playing way over towards first base like he would be headed that way to cover.
Exactly.
No bunt shown. Taken for a ball. Rebels were, that's clearly part of what the discussion was. Means Peterson probably staying home at third base. 1-1, fouled back into the screen, so bunt off the table now with 2 strikes.
Sanchez has great speed at the plate, so I think Percival is hoping
that
at the least,
not out there hustling.
at the least, Sanchez will put it in play and have the legs to leg out a ground ball to keep it from being a double play.
Pickoff throw to second. Didn't have a lot of conviction on that throw. Still 1-2 on Sanchez. Fernandez waiting on deck. Swing and a miss, strike three. Couch gets the first out of the inning. And that's going to get Charlie Shepard out of the dugout, the head coach for Newmarket, and he's going to make a pitching change. Going to be number 22, Luke McGrath. We're going to give him some time to make his warm-up pitches, and we'll be back in just a moment. McGrath finished with his warm-up pitches, and he's going to do battle with Anthony Fernandez. 2 runners on, 1 out, playing in the top of the 7th inning. First pitch fouled off. McGrath had a very strong start to the season. I think 7 or 8 scoreless innings before running into some trouble in one of his more recent outings. Certainly one of the better relief pitchers available for the Rebels.
Leans in, similar to Craig Kimbrell.
There is a similarity there. 0-1. Fastball with some good zip on it. Fouled at the plate. 0-2.
I think when you lean in like that, it adds a few miles per hour to your fastball.
Good. To get a little extension, get closer to home plate. Yeah, looking at the stats, McGrath pitched 7 scoreless innings to start the year before running into some trouble against the Charlottesville Tom Sox in 2/3 of an inning. 0-2 is up and in for a ball.
We know how good Charlottesville can be. So with that one outlier appearance,
Yeah,
you got pretty good stats.
for those of you who haven't followed the league super closely in recent years, the Tom Sox, by far the dominant force. Won 3 or 4 in the last 5 years, Valley League championships. think you have to go back to like mid to 20 teens to find pre-Tom Sox dominance. 1-2 misses in. Strasburg Express have won a couple of championships in there. And Newmarket and Harrisonburg taking home one apiece. 4 teams won league championship since about 2015 or so. Flared into center field could be trouble. It is down. It's actually going to be fielded by the left fielder Waltemeyer in shallow left center. Runners had to hold up, so nobody scores, but it will load the bases.
Even though that ball was in the air for a bit, and the runner on second base for Percival got a really good jump, they held him at third base. I think it has a lot to do with Waltemeyer being in left field. Waltemeyer got that ball. He was very shallow and was going to be a great throw if they did test the arm of Waltemeyer.
It was pretty shallow in left field, too. So. 1 out, bases loaded. McGrath on the mound. Manny Ramirez at the plate. Rebels playing in on the corners. Kind of double played up the middle. That one is hit very high into left center field. It's going to do the job to score a run, almost certainly. Throw is going to come into third. It was the correct play, in my opinion. So that'll be an F8, or a sacrifice fly 8 for Ramirez. Second out of the inning. Valentin scores. Runners stay put at first and second.
Number 13, Toronto.
I completely agree. The throw going to third there was huge. Not going to have any chance to get the out at home. And you're keeping the lead runner for Percival at second base as opposed to 90 feet away.
It was a very well struck ball, just a little bit high. So it didn't carry too deep, but it was certainly deep enough. First pitch to Prado is a ball low. Probably caught 360 feet or so from home plate.
Much better hit than the single that came before from Fernandez. That's just baseball.
That one's lined into right center. That's going to be down for a hit. It's going to score another run. Throw comes into second. Holds Prado to an RBI single. Acevedo comes around to score. Fernandez will end up at third base. Cannons have first and third with 2 outs now for Maher. Working through some camera issues over there, so we're sticking with full full field view for right now. Try to get you back to the pitcher batter view for too long here. Aggressive lead at first base. Runners going. Swing and a miss. AV throws to second. Good throw. I certainly thought they had him at second base, but the call is safe.
The throw beat him, and Coach Shepard got out of the dugout real quick.
So it's going to be a double steal. Fernandez scores the third run of the inning for the Cannons. Prado safe at second on a controversial call. 0-1 on Quinn Maher.
Rebels were content to give up that run as long as they got the third out at second base, and like you said, they thought they had it.
It's one of those ones, the ball certainly beat the runner, and usually at this level, that's going to mean an out. You don't see the swim move being as successful as it is in Major League Baseball with reviews and so forth. Called strike 0-2 now.
It's impossible for us to tell whether the tag did get there or not, like you said, with the swim move without replay. Umpire did have the best position, though.
Little bit surprised Coach Shepard didn't get ejected. Seems like kind of at the point where maybe a little energy could have been injected on a close play.
down a couple runs late in the game. Could have been a not so bad spot.
1 ball, 2 strikes now. McGrath looking to limit the damage to 3 runs across here in the 7th. That one's lined foul down the left field line. Wasn't fouled by too much. Stays at 1-2.
McGrath definitely a strikeout pitcher. How his stuff plays. Looking for it here.
Swing and a miss. Actually, a foul tip into Avies mitt for the 3rd out of the inning. Not before Purcellville pushes 3 runs across. After 6.5.
No errors.
It's Purcellville 4, Newmarket nothing. We'll be back for the bottom of the 7th in just a moment.
End of the top of the
Blaine Waltmeyer set to start off things for the Rebels here in the bottom of the 7th. Bryce Turner still on the mound for Percival.
Playing 1 for 2 with a double so far.
Pitch there just misses. Ball 1. Bryce Turner, 2.25 ERA in just 4 innings of work this summer. That one lined to left. Foul.
Blaine is he's on it tonight. You can tell he had a hard line drive double off the wall and right, and that one was smashed foul. The quality of contact is definitely trending in the right direction for Mr. Baltimore.
That 1-1 pitch grounded third. Throw is just in time for an out. Waltmeyer made it close.
Bit awkward over at first base as the first baseman kind of stretched right into Baltimore.
It's Rex Smith making the play for Percival at the hot corner. Didn't take too much time at third base, but Waltmeyer really let that one out quick.
Peterson.
Peterson up now. Pitch in there, strike 1.
Brennan 0 for 2 tonight.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. 0-2 pitch, high and inside. Peterson able to keep the hands back and take that one for ball one. The cool thing about Bryce Turner, in his delivery, you'll see his number. Inside pitch just misses ball two. Count even now.
Somebody who's done a lot of official scoring or has to pay attention to such things, that is very helpful to be able to tell who is out there. Sometimes it seems like they're just doing everything they can to not turn their back to you.
I wonder if our viewers can see it well, as the camera broadcast is kind of set up over the left of the hitter. Bryce Turner being a righty on the mound, he really comes closed, shows you the back of his. Peterson lines that one just foul over the head of Percival Smith.
Missed a double by about 6 inches. Looks like to me you probably can make out the number during the podcast. We have it running kind of beside us for quality control purposes and to keep up with the chat. You joined us after the first inning. Like we said, we love to hear from you in the chat.
That one line to right field. Fielder doesn't have to move at all. Out number 2.
Hit pretty hard. Just right at him.
Very unfortunate placement.
Designated hitter from Oklahoma City University, Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson trying to start a 2-out rally for the Rebels. First pitch. Takes low, but in there, strike one.
Jack looking to make some contact. He struck out twice tonight.
That one fouled back. Strike two. Have to change his approach. Down in the hole now.
Andrew Lynch playing catch down in the Rebel bullpen.
0-2 pitch. That one line to right. And foul. We'll do the 0-2 count again.
Not fully warming up, so I wouldn't expect him to start the 8th inning, but could see him too long.
Makes sense with Luke coming in halfway through the inning, last inning. Be able to go out and hopefully get a few more outs. Another foul ball from Johnson. Pitch coming from Turner. Outside takes that one. Count now 1-2. Good take there from Johnson. Pitch. Breaking ball misses. Ball two. Turner working quickly this at bat. Count 2 outs. That one's lifted deep to left field. Percival outfielders going back. They won't have a chance. And Johnson cuts this 4-0 lead down to 4-1. His second home run of the summer.
Let me tell you, Mikey, that was not a cheapie.
Deepest part of the ballpark, over by the scoreboard.
That was probably right around a 400-foot home run, as the ball is 390 feet there by the scoreboard. Somebody who has watched literally hundreds of games in this park, that's by far the rarest area to see a home run.
Like I said, second home run of the summer for Johnson. Been a little inconsistent in terms of batting average, but the power is there in all full display. AV fouls that one back. Count now 1-1. It had the sound right off the bat, but like you said, deepest part of the ballpark, we were holding our breath if it had enough. Ground ball, second base. AV trying to leg it out. Scoop by the first baseman. It's going to be in time. Cannons get the third out, but not before Jack Johnson absolutely destroys the baseball for a home run and cuts this lead. The Rebels down to 3. Heading into the top of the 8th.
Sorry,
4-1
like
Cannons.
7th inning, 1 run on 1 hit, no errors.
Rex Smith to lead off the 8th for Percival, facing Luke Rath. Rebels on the mound. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Cannons have the lead currently, 4-1 after the Jack Johnson bomb last inning. Watching the replay, some of us thought it went over the scoreboard. 0-1 pitch to Smith. Hot foul behind him. 0-2 now. We were saying in the booth, wasn't a no-doubt home run because it was the deepest part of the ballpark. Based off the swing and the sound off the bat, Johnson got everything. 0-2 pitch. Smith takes 1-2 now. One-two pitch. This is outside. Count even now. Rath trying to get 3 more outs for the Rebels, as their lineup has 6 more outs. Ball back from this deficit.
Would have hoped that home run would have livened the place up a little bit, but still fairly flat in the ballpark.
Inside, count full now.
It's a small crowd tonight due to the weather and perhaps overall performance thus far.
Definitely weather. Small crowd got really loud for that home run. 3-2 pitch, line to center field. Kelly drifting back. He'll track it well for out number 1.
Hard hit ball there for Smith, but not in the right place to do any damage.
After number 5, Mark Parrish.
First now to take a crack at things. 1 out, nobody on. 0 for 3 so far today. First pitch. Fouled right side, strike one. Oh, 1 pitch. This is a high ball one. Typical high fastball, just missing a little too up. See what pitch McGrath goes to here. Great pitch for well located strike two.
Wait, now that you mentioned it, I just keep seeing Craig Kimbrell out there. That lean while he's taking the sign.
Trying to strike fear in the batter's eyes. Doesn't quite have the Kimbrell lean. Kimbrell would have his right arm up, kind of at a 90-degree angle. That one lifted deep to center field. Kelly again tracking it well for out number 2. So 2 decently well hit balls, but 2 outs for the Rebels. As that will bring up Valentine.
Second baseman number 22, Correct Valentine.
1 for 3, had a single in the 7th, stole a base, and scored.
First pitch misses outside, ball 1. It's a fun conversation with Kimbrell. As everybody I'm sure knows, Mariano Rivera inducted into the Hall of Fame unanimously. But hard for closers overall to build up that resume. Strike 1 for Luke. Kimbrell's time with the Braves and that postseason success in Boston. I'm sure he's got a great case. Swing and a miss. 2 count. Two pitch. Breaking ball low and outside. Almost got Valentine swinging. Able to hold up.
I'd like to see a check with the first base umpire on that one, as it was certainly close.
Even think McGrath was asking for it. Davey was just a little occupied chasing the pitch.
Protest from the dugout or anything. It must not have been too egregious.
2 pitch misses up. Out now full. Certainly don't want to lose the 9-hitter for Percival with 2 outs in the top of the lineup right behind him.
Dangerous hitter in Acevedo waiting on deck.
2 pitch, fouled right back.
Acevedo, who's waiting on deck, 2 for 3 with a walk tonight. Scored 1. Hitting over 400 on the season.
It's again a 3-2 pitch. Pounded up the middle. It's going to miss McGrath and get through. It'll be a 2-out single for Valentine.
McGrath tried to make the behind the back stab with his glove. Didn't quite come up with it. It did look fairly close, though.
I think he was an inch away from a web gem.
Now, that would be something if we could get ourselves on ESPN. Have a recording. It's possible. The quality might only be good enough for the pitcher, but
Even with that missed opportunity, defense tonight, putting together some highlight reel plays. Caleb Newcomer taking flight earlier today. First pitch, runner taking off. Avey to throw. It looks good. And they got him. Out number 3 from the Rebels comes via the bases. Now we're heading into the bottom of the 8th. Rebels still trailing 4-1.
Starting in the top of the 8th inning.
Didn't get the call on. The runner didn't seem. He just turned around and started back for the dugout, so he must have got it.
Once again, thank you to the Bowling family for beating the Rebels after the game. Every home game, we beat the Rebels in the pavilion. And if you or your organization have the willingness and ableness to do that, please contact Becky Kemps. There is 1 or 2 nights left that are not covered.
I used to get to hang out with my parents after every game because they fed them like 19 out of the 20 nights, but now they're like semi-retired. I never see them. They're out sick today anyway. Oh, shit. Yeah. Both had COVID. They're fine. But...
Cody Cooper leading things off for the Rebels here in the bottom of the 8th. Foul that one straight back. Bryce Turner pitching his 3rd inning of work for the Percival pitching staff.
He's been effective, so you can't be surprised they keep running him back out there.
The exception of Johnson's one swing.
Very true. He was very ineffective on that one pitch.
Very
Overall,
effective
has
there.
been very good.
Very effective here, as 3 pitches is going to be it for Cody Cooper. Bryce Turner has his first out of the inning.
University, number 11, Caleb Cooper.
And we're now up for the Rebels. 0 for 3 so far. Pitch inside misses, ball 1. Pitch misses outside, ball 2.
There is action in the Purcellville bullpen.
Longest Bryce Turner has gone in relief this summer is 1 1/3 inning. So by far, stretching him out the most in this outing. That one misses, ball 3.
Might be Nick Stazak warming up out of Santa Fe College. 2020 peepers over here.
That was without the binoculars. Oh. 3-1 pitch misses, and newcomer's going to be on base. First time today with a walk. I'll bring up Logan Kelly.
Center fielder from Colorado State University, 15, Logan.
Logan Kelly, often the topic of conversation when it comes to the Rebels lineup. 2 home runs so far this summer. First pitch lined right at the shortstop for out number 2. He's getting ready to say over the shortstop's head. But Carlos Sanchez didn't have to move at all for that one.
Around the right fielder from Enterprise State Junior College, number 18, Mike Garkowski.
Playing my home run card right here.
The yard card for Mike Garkowski.
The yard card is down for Mike Garkowski here.
2 outs, runner on first base. First pitch. This is inside, ball 1.
No reason to keep it in my pocket. He's due.
Like I was saying,
Ball is carrying well tonight.
Bryce Turner probably does well against right-handed hitters. Dobkowski chops that one to second base. They'll try to turn two. They'll get the lead out at second base. And there was 2 outs. So I think a little miscommunication on the infield. Nevertheless,
It's a little bit lucky the shortstop was at second base. As I think most shortstops would expect that play to go to first. The second baseman spun and fired it to second without looking. Shortstop was there, but certainly could have been trouble.
right, because the second baseman was working to his left, kind of blindly threw it to second base. Nevertheless, gets the 3rd out for the Cannons. Rebels are retired in the bottom of the 8th. They'll have just the bottom of the 9th to try to come back from this 4-1 deficit. And Andrew Lynch is coming on for the Rebels here in the top of the 9th inning.
Door prize giveaway if you get that for your admission tickets. Okay, your ticket number is 0986-717. 0986-717. Back for the Cannons. Left fielder number 8, Ethan Acevedo.
And Acevedo leading things off for Percival, facing off against Andrew Lynch. First pitch in there, strike 1. Lynch, not the best summer stats so far this season. Last outing was his best against Front Royal. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
We ahead of one of the better hitters in the league.
Oh, 2 pitch. Just misses inside, ball 1.
Good 0-2 pitch, though. Certainly a competitive pitch. Looking to get a swing and miss.
Hard to pitch inside, especially strike counts. Efficiently so there. That 1-2 pitch misses outside. Count even now. Two pitch. Low, and this count is full. 3-2.
I consider that to be a pretty good pitch. Just Good discipline at the plate by Acevedo to not swing.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Lynch gets him chasing on the outside pitch. Out number 1 for the Rebels.
Around the shortstop, number 9, Carlos Sanchez.
Carlos Sanchez up now for Percival.
One for 4 tonight with a single.
Lines that one to left field. Foul ball. It will be a long strike 1 for Andrew Lynch. Oh, 1 pitch. Swing and a miss on that breaking ball. Another early 0-2 count for Lynch. Another low and away breaking ball. Curveball. Find foul off to the left side.
You're thankful there's security screens in front of the dugouts these days. A newer addition to Rebel Park. Last summer might have been the first. Used to be a completely open dugout. Had to keep your head on a swivel down there.
0-2 pitch. Good take by Sanchez.
Just throwing some nice chase pitches, but not getting the chase.
They're competitive, like you said. To delivery. That one skied. Left side, Johnson, third baseman, tracking it. Shortstop Peterson is going to make the catch.
Cooper actually caught it.
Cooper, sorry, Peterson is the third baseman. Cooper, the shortstop, ranging far off to the shallow left field side, right by the line to make that play. Again,
Altemeyer, Cooper, and Peterson were all in the vicinity, but I believe Cooper was the one that ultimately caught it.
again, in our blind spot, we were just going by the umpire call on the field. One 0 pitch from Lynch. Bounces in front of the plate, ball 2. Fernandez 2 for 4 today. Two singles, and he came around to score. 7th inning. Part of that big 3-run inning for Percival. That one misses way outside, ball 3 from Lynch.
Just lost his release point a bit. Bounced one in and then goes way high. Hopefully he can dial it back in.
Perhaps trying to be a little too careful against one of the Cannon's most dangerous hitters. The 0 pitch misses low. It'll be a 4-pitch walk. Fernandez reaches first base, and I'll bring up Manny Ramirez Jr.
Ramirez has had an eventful night. Fielder's choice, walk, single, sac fly, stolen base, scored a run. Filling up the stat sheet.
Just trying to prevent another 2-out rally from the Cannons. Checks on the runner at first. Save. Another check to the runner.
Pretty close on that one.
I think especially after AV's arm show off last inning, they would have the red light on the bases here. Pitch misses inside, ball 1.
2 outs, you might want to roll the dice a bit more, trying to get a runner into scoring position rather than try to string together multiple hits.
One 0 pitch misses high and inside. Maybe thought about a back pick. And is getting a decent secondary lead. Go pitch coming from Lynch. Chopped. And not able to make the play is shortstop Cooper. As that chopper got right past Lynch. He had to come up and make a tough play, but to no avail. Ramirez was going to be close at first base.
That one scored ahead. He tried to barehand it. I think anytime you're charging and have to go to the barehand, it's more of a do or die play than it's not. It goes beyond routine at that point.
2 runners on, 2 outs. First pitch to Prado. Misses up, ball 1. So
Lynch struggling to find the strike zone.
Got the soft contact he wanted. The 2-0 count last at bat. Misses again, ball 1. Gonna miss low, ball 2. Another 2-0 count. For that soft ground ball, he threw 6 straight balls. Straight balls to start this at bat. We'll have a mound visit. Great start from Pacheco today. As well as a great start from Angel Cruz, the Cannon starter. Both pitchers went 5 innings. Cruz may have been out there for a 6. And Gauch, McGrath, now Lynch follow Pacheco for the pitching staff. Lynch in trouble here. 2-0 count, 2 runners on. Pitch lifted high. Left field, Waltemeyer chasing it. In foul territory. He will make the catch, and that will be the 3rd out for the Rebels. They strand the 2 runners on and keep this deficit at 3 runs as they go into the bottom of the 9th inning, trying to come back. Matt Murphy leading off the ninth inning for the Rebels. Hopefully starting a comeback inning. Check swing fouls that one off to the right side.
Certainly need him to set the tone and get on base here. If you're looking to come back 3, getting that leadoff man on, super important.
Absolutely. All about base runners. Front door curveball. This is inside, ball 1.
New pitcher on for the Cannons.
That one misses as well, ball 2.
Nick Stazak out of Santa Fe College. 9.2 innings pitched with a 0.00 ERA and 14 strikeouts.
Looking for his 15th. Count even now. 2-2 pitch misses up to Murphy. Count full. Another pitcher working very quickly on the mound. 3-2 pitch. Low and outside. Called strike 3. Another backwards K for Matt Murphy.
It's his 3rd consecutive strikeout looking.
Gotta bring him left fielder from Penn State, Harrisburg. 5, Blaine Waltemeyer.
Blaine Waltemeyer now up for the Rebels. Takes first pitch high. Fight the uphill climb for the Rebels. Swing and a miss. Waltemeyer trying to continue his good 2-day streak. Takes that one inside, ball 2.
You have a question in the comments about why John Dubkowski was suspended for a game. I believe he was ejected last night, and a suspension is automatic after.
Waltemeyer lifts that one deep to center field. Brought in for out number 2. Center fielder and right fielder for the Cannons. Playing around a little bit. Right fielder acted like he was catching that ball.
7, ready.
Kind of looked like one of those plays in football where the special teams has a decoy punt returner and the actual returner is somewhere completely different.
I feel like I get that a lot watching Cubs games because Pete Crow Armstrong covers so much ground that even like on a fly ball to left field, he's like right behind Ian Happ or right behind Tucker and right.
You just got to tell Seiya Suzuki and Ian Happ, take a seat. PCA's got the whole outfield. 0-2 curveball misses up to Peterson. Brennan Peterson, the last hope for the Rebels tonight. One-two pitch misses. Count now even, 2-2. Good gritty take there from Peterson. That one line to right field. It's going to be a base hit. Right fielder for Percival tried to make the play.
Fired it into first base. It was fairly close. But Peterson could kind of see the intention there, I think, and was busting it down the line.
Jack Johnson.
2 outs in the 9th inning. Why not try to get that final out? First pitch, curveball misses, ball 1. Johnson now up to the plate for the Rebels. In possession of the Rebels' one and only run tonight. Came from that solo shot in the 7th inning. One 0 pitch. Misses outside, ball 2.
I feel like you do occasionally see runners thrown out at first by the right field, like in softball or on Little League fields where it's a little bit more compacted. If you really hit one hard to the right fielder, they can have time to get it to first.
Pitch inside, strike 1.
But rare on a full-sized baseball field.
Fernandez did make it close. Another pitch misses. Count 3-1 now to Johnson as he looks to do some damage in a hitter's count. Another home run here would cut the deficit to just 1 run. 3-1 pitch catches the outside corner. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th inning. Rebels trail by 3. The pitch. That one misses high. Ball 4. And the Rebels have some down to the wire action. And I believe this is going to be a pinch hitter, Jonathan Mallow, for catcher Noah Avey. Cannons are going to take a mound visit. No matter how much you trust the pitcher in this situation, seems like a mound visit is necessary, given that the game time run is now up to the plate.
Rebels certainly hoping Mallow could hook one over the right field fence. Tie this one up.
Mallow has been on and off to start the summer. Usually the Rebels leadoff hitter. Gets some time in the outfield, gets some time at second base. When he's off, you'll usually see Logan Kelly in the leadoff spot.
Number 12, Jonathan. Oh.
Caleb Newcomer is taking the leadoff role. Jonathan Mallow, still seen as a effective damaging hitter. Brought in here for the big situation.
No home runs so far this season. Did have one last season for the Rebels.
I think you're right. The power would definitely come poolside to right field if it did come. 1-0 pitch, misses high, ball 2.
Certainly would take a walk.
Cody Cooper on deck. The Rebels' new shortstop. 2-0 pitch, misses, ball 3. I think the Cannons are not getting some calls for strikes that they were getting earlier in the game. Rio count to Mallow. Takes that one high, ball 4. 4 straight pitches after the mound visit, 4 straight balls. That brings up the go-ahead run to the plate. The Cannons are going to take another mound visit and not going to take any chances. They're going to bring in a new pitcher. So as the umpires check this new pitcher for any illegal substances, we'll get his name, stats, and set up this final 9th inning for you here. Be back soon. Cody Cooper coming up in the big spot for the Rebels. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Cannons bring in pitcher Ryan Morrison. First pitch to Cooper. Takes low and outside, ball 1.
Morrison is a tall drink of water.
6-8.
And speaking of water, he came from across the pond, right?
Over in Australia. Locates strike number 1. Cooper 1 for 3 so far today. Trying to extend this game and come up big for the Rebels. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball. First base. He's going to do a good job of trapping it. Step on the base for out number 3. And that's going to do it for the Rebels tonight. Cannons take this one. Win 4-1. And we will see you back at Rebel Park Friday for our next home game against Woodstock.
Hosting Woodstock for a 7:30 start. In summary, Personal with 4
Good night, everybody. Take it easy.
Newmarket 1 run, 6